There's a new report out from the New York City Coalition Against Hunger, and what they did is they looked through a whole bunch of Census Bureau data to find out how the income inequality situation in New York City has changed over the past 3 years. Well, they found out that it got much, much worse. So to give you some specific facts here, there's about 400,000 children, or 1 of every 5 citywide, that lived in hunger during the 2010 to 2012 period. Overall, there are 1.3 million New York City residents who weren't able to provide adequate nutrition for their families at some point over the course of a year. 1 in 10 senior citizens was food insecure during the same time frame, meaning that nearly 176,000 New Yorkers older than 60 couldn't feed themselves properly. Now, think of how devastating those numbers are. Because again, those numbers are just within the context of a single city. Granted, it's New York City, which is gigantic, but we're talking about overall 1.3 million New Yorkers who were at one point or another dealing with hunger. Now, that's unacceptable in a civilized society, in my opinion, but it gets worse. Because at the same time that this was going on, and there was an increase in poverty and an increase in hunger, Forbes data on the city's richest citizens shows that the net worth of the 53 billionaires in New York City rose from $210 billion to $277 billion. A $67 billion increase. $67 billion increase over just a 2 to 3 year period for only the richest 53 people. And at the same time, there's people all over the place falling into poverty, facing hunger at one point or another. So the conclusion from this report is that the rich got richer and the poor got poorer and hungrier. So whenever anybody says, here's my conclusion on this whole thing here. Whenever anybody tells you, we just can't do it, we can't raise taxes on the richest people by 3% or 4% or whatever number we're talking about. And of course, why would we raise taxes on those people? To pay for anti-poverty and anti-hunger programs. This isn't rocket science. It's very simple. It's very straightforward. So whenever anybody tells you that we can't do that, you remember these numbers. Because these numbers paint a very, very different picture.